up on the streams. Make sure everything is up and running. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. It looks like everything is up and going. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well today. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. Join me live trading here. Live trading. All right. Good morning, everybody. Hope you are all doing well. Happy Monday. Hope you guys all had a great weekend and you're ready to trade. Crude oil currently breaking another high of day. So I'm not too sure we're going to get this pullback to the 2-hour demand zone. That is okay. No problem there. Good buying pressure. It is coming into some resistance because it is at a new high of day. We'll delete this. Get that out of there. The ES and the NQ right now. So ES is near the 15-minute supply zone that I had. Right now it is currently 9:15. Market opens in about 15 minutes. Good morning, everybody. Hope you are all doing well today. Happy Monday. We do have some trade plans that we're going to be looking for today. So the first one I wanted to see was to see if crude wanted to either pull back to this liquidity level right here to sweep this low and then reverse back higher, or if we wanted to come back to this 2-hour demand zone. I'll show you the 2-hour time frame. We have our 2-hour basing. We have our strong impulse move, and this impulse move took us out of this range. So we would be looking for continuation anyways, really only looking for long positions on something like crude today. Okay, looks good, looks good. We're going to stay patient here on crude. We don't want to dive into any trades prematurely. It is still at the top of its range right now. We don't want to buy the highs. We want to sell the highs and buy the lows. If I'm looking at the 15-minute time frame, though, on crude right here, this might be that new setup I was looking for. This 15-minute basing right here. So I'm going to see how the market wants to react on crude oil if we could get back there, especially because now gold is also dropping lower, rejecting this broken 2-hour demand zone. So we're going to just wait and just sort of wait and see what wants to give us what. You know, does crude want to come back down here? And we'll see our OTE on this right now. 61% is right there. So we're going to delete this for right now. We're going to throw this up here and just see how crude wants to react to this upper level, this 15-minute fair value gap for a long. So that might be what I'm looking for right now. Good morning, everybody. Hope you are all doing well. Happy Monday. Don't forget, YouTube, hit that like and subscribe. Discord, appreciate you all for being here. Anybody's got any questions, please feel free to let me know. Where is Discord? There it is. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Let me get the light on so it doesn't look like we're sitting in the dark. Beautiful. Crude with a crazy sell-off off of those highs. Guys, this is exactly why I say we don't want to be trying to buy the breakout, right? We'd much rather wait for a pullback and buy the dip, right? Because if we got long over here and we ended up going back to a new high a day, this entry down here is way better than getting an entry up here, because you get an entry up here on a breakout and what happens? It stops you out for the pullback. Instead, enter on the pullback. Always be patient on the market. Always tell yourself, if the market's really going to give me a move right now, it's going to give me a pullback. The market will always, almost always give you that second entry, whether you're looking at a 5-minute chart, a 15-minute, 1-minute, whatever you're looking at, whatever your time frame analysis is, it will normally give you that pullback. Yeah, and I'm looking for crude right here. Might take this long. I don't know. We'll see. I want to see how's the volume on the footprint. And we got to remember too, guys, market hasn't opened yet. It is only 9:19. So we could be patient on this. ES and NQ. There we go. NASDAQ trying to take out that low. I want to see, let's see, symbol, We want that stacked on because the stacked will show us imbalances. There we go. See, crude's pulling back, trying to move back higher again. If we have our volume, we have our footprint chart on, we can put that on to total. And what that'll do is that'll tell us the total volume on each price level in that time frame. So now we see on crude, when we're pushing higher, we have in the 300s, the 400s, 500, 300s. We're trying to push lower. We had 500, 400, 400. So it is pretty aggressive to the downside at the moment. We're just going to wait and see how it wants to react. If we're looking at a 15-minute, and I'll show you guys the candlestick one more time. We're looking at a 15-minute order block right here. I was looking for this to be a basing for a demand zone, which means this candle needs to close green. So I'm looking to potentially take some crude longs down in this zone if we could get a fast reaction or we see some absorption somewhere. They must have dipped out on my icebergs indicator again on Bookmap. Just sort of funny. YouTube guys, don't forget drop a comment. Let me know what you guys are trading right now too. Definitely curious as to know what you guys are trading. ES and NQ sold off pretty hard. You know, it was 9:15. That must have been, you know, that's Fed speak. Let's see, Fed Barkin speech at, no, that was 8. Where are we at? Thought we had 9:15. Oh, that's Tuesday. Yeah, 9:15, Fed Cook speech at 9:15. So that's sort of what gave us that drop on ES and NQ this morning. Next bit of news is the global PMI final, but we do have the regular services PMI tomorrow. Again, it could give us maybe a little move. This isn't the biggest of moves in comparison, right? This is maybe a 15-point move to the downside on ES. We've seen some crazy 50, 80-point moves with news. So we're just going to wait and see. Looking for crude, gold. I'd love for gold to pull back. Right now, I wouldn't really consider this an optimal trade entry because we did end up breaking lower since then. And crude oil, too. I'd like to see, you know, if we could come back lower. Maybe look for an entry on some longs and see if we could even hold that for the day. Let's see. I mean, we did hit a 5-minute fair value gap right here, and that one is the one with the imbalance too. So you know what? If we could test that zone one more time, that's where I'll try to take a long position on crude. Let's see. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Yo, what's going on, Momentum Trading Lab? Good morning. What is up? What is up? We were looking for crude over here. We got, you know what? It's a 5-minute fair value gap, which means a 1-minute entry. So 1, 2 tests. All right, we'll wait. We'll wait. We will wait. 15-minute. And I sort of wanted the 15-minute, that order block to be hit. That's this, here we'll make it a different shade so we know the purple level. Part of me wants to, we'll delete this zone. You know what? We'll border it up a little bit. And then we'll fade that out. We'll make that border like red so we know. Alright, cool. So just a few key levels I'm looking at. The red levels aren't as strong as the white and the gold levels. The red levels is just where that broken supply zone is. I always like to be aware of where that is to see where we want to close and whatnot. There we go. See that pullback? Just going to stay patient right now. What time is it? It is 9:23. Market has not opened yet. We got a setup on crude we're waiting for. Setup on ES and NQ sort of range bound. I'm not a fan of where they are right now. We do have some divergence too. NASDAQ tried making a new low off of that pre-market low right over here at 6 o'clock. ES did not hit that level, although NASDAQ did not break it. Let's see. Good morning, everybody. Hope you are all doing well today. Happy Monday. I'm excited to get into this week. Stick around. 6 minutes till market opens. Let's see. Good morning, everybody. Good morning and good morning. Let's see, we could check some edgeful stats. Oh, there's that retest on crude right there. If we do start moving higher, I'll take 74.40 as an entry. Gotta see how we react right here. If it just dumps through, I'm not taking it. Plain and simple. If it pushes back up, I'll take it like right over there. Ah, see, I don't know how I feel about that. So we're gonna wait. It's not worth it. If you're getting in a trade and you feel like I don't know how I feel about that, there's a good chance it's not gonna work out. Gotta trust your gut. And guess what? If it works out, great. Great. It is what it is. Always create an if this then this. Always follow your plan. Did the market open yet? We still got 5 minutes till market opens, guys. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, everybody. Edgeful bullish bears, everybody. Hope you are all doing well. Crude, what do you want to do, crude? How's that volume looking right now? You doing anything? 83, alright. I'll go light in a crude position. We'll try it out. Stop loss is like right over here. Keeping it tight, guys. It's what's up. Because that way I could stop out, and if that other plan starts to work, I could get a better entry. So we're just going to wait. And if it works, then great. I'm in a tight trade, looking for a good risk to reward on that. What was I doing? Alright, let's see. So looking for, and you know what it is? I liked the volume that started to build here. This 101, this 174, that looks pretty good. I'd like to see, let's check out the delta though. Is the delta at least positive? It is positive a little bit right now. So I'm in a little bit of a light crude oil long position. Market opens in about 3 minutes. We are waiting to see if we want to hold this 5-minute fair value gap. Another good little imbalance right there. Some volume coming in. Not bad. Not bad. We want to see that reflect, though, on Bookmap. We want to see a good volume bubble start to form. That will help give us good confirmation on this trade. Nice, good reaction. Again, I like the volume trying to come out of this. We'll check the total volume again. Nice, look at that. Good pop there on crude, guys. Great entry. Great stuff. Great stuff. That is awesome. One of my students, oh nice, good pop on crude. One of my students also trades crude, and she got her first funded account. She's been with me like 2 months, and she's already funded. She's killing it. Super proud of her. I definitely went a little too light on this crude trade. Only in 3 crude oil contracts right now from 74.39. Probably look to see to add on the next 5-minute candle. If we could get a wick lower, I'll add on the wick lower. Good volume coming in. The volume, again, doesn't really reflect well on Bookmap at the moment. So I'm just going to sort of be patient on that. See how this 5 wants to close. And remember, too, to check that 15-minute time frame, we want to watch the higher time frames. I did want this 15-minute to close green. So if we could continue higher on this run, and this closes green, again, I'm going to be looking to add on that next entry, that next 5-minute candle. Currently in 3 crude oil shorts. 1 trade. I meant to say 1 trade. 3 crude oil shorts. Where are we at? 74.39, stop loss 74.32. Looking for a pretty good risk to reward on this.
You say you're long or short?
Long.
Long, okay. You said
Yeah,
short.
Long crude 74.39. Would you say you're short?
No, you said you were short.
Oh, did I say I was short? I'm sorry about that, guys. I am long crude. You know why? I think I was looking at gold for a second. I'm waiting for gold for a short. I'm looking for crude. Crude, I'm in longs right now. Looking to add to my long on the next pullback. Which we might not even get that next pullback. We might just pop. And that's fine with me too. Bookmap slow to begin. ES and NQ also trying to push higher. Some crude oil going right there. I do think crude might just continue on this run. And I'm not complaining. Good trade, guys. Good stuff today so far. Discord, don't forget. Discord, hit that like. YouTube, hit that like. Marziti, thanks for catching me on my slip up. Yeah, definitely longs. No shorts here. Bookmap, I think it's like, depends. I have the whole Global Plus thing, which is like 80 a month. They have another one though, I think it's 40 a month is the global that you would need. I could get into all that. Let's see. Oh, they took it away. Oh, I didn't know they had this. That's pretty cool. Good morning. Recently purchased edgeful. Very excited about it. I believe it's a technical tool. Yeah, for sure. Let's go over edgeful real quick. So something I saw on edgeful, guys, was, let's see, we'll go over crude because it's the trade we took today was crude oil, right? So crude oil, under watch lists, I had crude oil has been in a bull trend for the past 5 trading days, breaking previous day high and closing green. Because we're already above previous day high, I'd like to see a pullback to the 2-hour demand zone at 73.73 for a long position to target new high of day. Right, so this was the initial trade setup, but I did say if we don't come down to this 2-hour demand zone, I'll look for a new 15 or 30-minute order block / fair value gap to enter. And then on edgeful, it told us for 4 of the past 5 trading days, we've had double break. And I remembered we broke in previous day high and closed green. So that means we've had a break to the downside and then continuation higher. Or we had on this one day a breakout. So that tells me I'm definitely looking for an uptrend. I'm looking for a bullish move on crude. What's in play on crude?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Now, I wouldn't use the gap fill too much on crude oil because it rarely fills. So I'd be more interested in using something like I said, the orb, the opening range breakout. That's a great one. Initial balance is also good too because that also will give you a sense of direction. So if we used the opening range breakout and we saw that we had double breaks for the past 5 days and then came to the 60-minute imbalance, which again, we're looking at the, initial balance. We're looking at the 15-minute orb and then the 1-hour initial balance. So this is our lower time frame manipulation, higher time frame distribution. So that's our entry on the 15-minute orb, and then our target or trend on the 60-minute. And that's sort of how I would use them together. ADR 75.29. 75.29. That's where we would go. 75.29. Yeah, for real? Okay. I'd be cool with that. I'm in some crude longs still. Definitely looking to hold these only in 3 contracts. If anybody's got any questions, definitely holler. ES and NQ. Let's see. I want to see how ES moves. Let's see. As ES moves up into the supply zone. So 60.45 right here is a pretty heavy level on ES. I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. I'm still in crude, but I'm going to be watching ES for a potential entry depending on our reaction up here. We don't really have divergence. We do have VIX pushing higher. What's the 15-minute? Looks bullish. Would probably only look for longs here, but we're running into a supply zone. So That's what I would consider a rock and a hard place. There's not much say that we should continue higher on ES right now because of the supply and the resistance, but there's also not much say that we should continue lower because right now the information it's giving us is potentially more bullish. So we just have to really go off of the information it's giving us in our analysis, and if we're looking at the 15-minute time frame, then we have to let it close. Have to. Let's see, crude oil pulling back a little bit right here. I'll call
Kev,
that
when
the
you're
spot
using
where
the
I add. What's up?
Kev, when you're using the orb, do you not let the 15-minute candle close first before you enter, or just?
No, I let the 15-minute orb close. It depends on how I'm using it, right? It depends on the setup I'm looking for and how the market's trading. So right now on crude oil, we had a really nice 15-minute close basing candle. So I just added to my crude long, and I'm looking for this to continue higher. If, however, we do want to chop around and push lower, I'll stop out of this original trade and look to see how this 15-minute orb wants to close. If crude wasn't closing the way it closed on that last candle, or like gold, for instance, gold I'm going to wait to see if we can get an orb pushing higher because I want to see if we could reject this 15-minute demand zone up here.
Gotcha.
So it's part of the system, you know, everything has a place, every piece has a part, and just got to put it all together. I'd really like to see, I know crude's got a level at 75 even, which would be huge, but right now we're sort of range bound. We took out that previous high from pre-market. We're sort of rangy-ish. Again, I added some now in 6 contracts on crude. Really looking for continuation higher, especially because of how this 15 closed. I'd really like to see this 15 push green and close above this high and this high. So that's what I'm waiting for and looking for on crude oils. I'm looking for a break and a close above maybe this 74.69.
I've got the half measured move on crude at 75. So I think 74.95 is a valid target north if we go north.
Nice.
For a first take profit.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I know. I was thinking of take profits too, and it's tough to find take profits up here because of where we are right now. We don't really have any supply zones we're going into. So it's like we almost have, I don't want to say free range to keep pushing higher. There we go, crude pushing higher right now. I'm going to zoom back into that. Really want to see a strong move. I want to see how the volume looks. I love using the footprint on TradingView. Makes it very simple when it wants to load. There we go. Yeah, look at the volume. Again, starting to build here. I want to see this 217 go to 300, this 140 go to 200. Want to see good volume pushing higher. Nice. There we go, guys. There we go. So this 33, this 41, really need to see these numbers push up.
All right, watch 74.69 because that's the 915
Boom.
high.
Nice. Sick. All right, I'm looking for where did you say? 69?
Well, we got the 915 high at 74.69.
Yeah.
So when we break that, it'll either be liquidity or a run.
Yeah, well, you know what it is? If we look back at the high we took out with that high, we took that high out, but then we continued back up higher. So I think we're just going to take that high out and continue. I'm probably going to scale out of a few contracts at maybe 75 over here. So we'll call that TP1. We do have this key level here. We have yet to close above that. Good volume, though, on this, so I'm not worried that we're going to reverse here. I'm not. I'm okay with this. This is fine. This is a pullback. That's okay. Now we close though in 40 seconds, and if we're looking at the 15-minute time frame, we did start pushing higher. So again, I'm not too concerned on this. I liked the volume. Some pretty good volume starting to build up. Positive delta on it, so really want to see this continue higher though. We need momentum behind this because we're looking for the 15-minute to continue. Good morning, everybody. Hope you are all doing well. ES did reject that supply zone that I had marked out so far. 5-minute closes in a few seconds. There we go, crude. Not worried about it right now on crude oil. I'm holding these. I think it might want to try to stop hunt a little bit, but I'm holding them. This is some resistance up here, so we wouldn't look to go long up here. Yes, pushing back higher, NQ pushing back higher. I gotta get gold back up here. Where's gold? Nope, we're good on gold. We could wait. So look, this push lower on crude, so far the volume's been pretty dead on that. So that tells me sellers aren't really that strong right now. We're gonna wait. We're gonna see how it wants to play out. We're just gonna be patient right here. Can always wait for the 15-minute too. Remember, guys, we were looking for the 15-minute to close. We have 4 minutes left for the 15-minute candle to close. So I do want this to continue higher because I wanted us to close green up here. If we don't close green up there, there's probably a better chance that I get out of this trade. Let's see. 30 looked pretty good to the upside too. 45 also. 1 hour is okay. But I really liked that 15 because I wanted this basing candle to be what we get before we get our impulse move and continuation higher. Now edgeful gave us a target on crude to 75.29, which would be breaking my major key level. So that's interesting. I'm definitely curious about that. If anybody has any questions, don't forget, feel free, drop in the comment. I'm in 6 crude contracts now. Got in 3 here, added 3 over here. Looking for us to continue higher. We're rejecting this area at the moment. Nothing too crazy. There we go. Give me some good volume up here too. Looks pretty good. 172, 41. Really need volume to start picking up here.
Well, you mentioned 75.29 from edgeful. The pivot point resistance line is at 75.35. So those are all in the same general ballpark area. So, and that would be about the full measured move also. So all 3 of them are lining up in the same general area around 75.30 and above.
Absolutely. There we go, crude. Give us that break. Absolutely. That's what it is. Crude uses, that's the ADR. So potential bull move is 75.29 on the ADR. This is awesome. I might move my TP1 to nice. Let's go. Alright, let's get bookmap back up there. Yeah, bookmap a little bit of resistance. I want to see us blow through this a little bit. 75. I will get out of 3 contracts at 75, 75. Do I really want to, though? It's a pretty clean pump. Yeah, we'll play it safe. We'll get out of 3, 75, 75. So 5 cents away. Get out of 3 contracts. I like the volumes coming in pretty nice, though. I'm going to move it for a second, see if we want to get a pump. We are in a little bit of resistance and some liquidity up here. Some passive sellers up here that are getting filled. We might, yeah, I'm going to get out of a few. I'm going to get out of those 3 right here. Boom. All right, out of 3 contracts, holding 3. Let's see if we could run this back up. There we go, crude. Good volume. Moving my stop loss. Great trade today, guys. Great stuff. This is why we create our plans and do our pre-market prep, everybody. YouTube guys, hit that like button. Make sure to skip the ads for you. ES chopping around up and down. Crude oil's been giving us a cleaner trend. Gold's been having better trends to the downside.
Coming out in a minute.
What do we have?
That PMI news in a minute.
Yeah, I know, but it's not. We have PMI tomorrow, so I don't know if this PMI is going to be as effective as the next. So like I said, I scaled out of a few contracts up here at 74, 72. I'm holding 3 crude contracts. We have 5 seconds till we have that news, right? Didn't really pull any levels.
That's a final. That's not an initial, so I'm not expecting anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Yeah, but look at that 40-point volatility mover down in NQ.
Yeah, did we have something? No, not really.
It just came out, so.
You gotta remember that unless a final is really far deviant from the flash or the initial, it doesn't mean anything.
Right. Come on, crude, let's pump it. Louder, pump it. Louder. Da, 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 da. I love a trend. It's my friend. Oh, good imbalance right there. Crazy liquidity coming in here. Crazy volume coming in here on crude. Which could, of course, mean one of two things. A breakout and continuation or a reversal. So be careful up here. We are hitting very strong levels. This is all passive sellers when we see levels above us on Bookmap. But we had a really great volume. We'll wait for this 5 to close. I am out of half of my contracts. Holding half, looking for the trend to continue, looking for these levels of liquidity to be hit. 75 even would be my next target on crude. 75 even. Another 9 to 1 on that. That's beautiful. But, I don't know. Again, we're hitting some absorption up here. We're hitting a pretty strong wall at the moment. Want to see if we could remain in it for a second. 74 is holding, which is good. Three minutes left in this 5 minute. Let's take a look at the 15, see if we closed well. We did close how we wanted to on the 15, so I am still looking for this upside target. Will not be stopping out of these longs. Yes, and NQ also pushing higher on the 1 minute now and on the 5 minute. 15 was more bullish too. See the basing candle I mentioned earlier. Same with NQ. I'm just trying to chop up some time until we are able to get this move on crude. We're starting to consolidate here. Volume again, though, is pretty good, so I'm not worried. I want to see this trend as our friend and move higher. 75 even is a nice next target. We even got 75.10. I don't see anything above 75.10. 75 even is my next target on crude oil. On these longs. Man, we've been whooping crude lately. But we can't say that. Shh, don't tell the market. Or else the market will reverse on us right now. Let's check out that 5 minute. Not a red candle in sight for the past 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. We'll wait. Good volume coming up too, and the volume is what matters. That's what moves the market. Candles don't move the market. Volume moves the market. Order flow. And then our probabilities, like edgeful gives us, it's what gives us that edge. Order flow and edge. It's what we need in the market to be consistent. And our edge varies, guys. Our edges from everything from order flow to risk management, everything. Our strategy, our system. It's so important. Everything comes together. See that again? Good volume. Looking for continuation. Beautiful. Beautiful. 75 even. That's where I'd like to target. Check out our book map. And look at the volume. Good volume bubbles. Big bubbles starting to form again. Continuation is here. ES and NQ still trying to push higher, but they've sort of been, I don't want to say range bound, but they haven't been giving us the smoothest of trends. Like even the weighted index sort of chopping around a bit. NASDAQ was pretty strong this morning. Really looking for crude to continue here. And also, you know, I don't know, gold might be giving us that short setup too. We shall see.
All right, so crude's got some fair value gaps starting down below us there at 74.72. So very possible we may dip back down into that.
Nah. That's what the market wants you to think. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I hate
We'll
to
see.
say this, but we must recognize that today might be the trend day.
On what? Crude or?
On NQ, on ES.
Yeah.
I hate trend days, man, because I can never get the top right or the bottom right, so it's like, ugh.
No, man. Gotta just wait on them pullbacks, be super patient. Buy the dips type of shits. There we go, crude. Come on, crude. Now, this is a trend right here. This is a very clean. Saw the pullback, entered the pullback, added into strength. Just really nice trade there on crude oil. 75 even, waiting for that 75 even. And it hasn't given us a reason to say, oh, we're getting weak. Remember I said we took out this high pre-market and then we took out that high again. It looks like we were going to take that high and continue. We have 340 left in this 5 minute. We could open up the volume again, make sure volume's still strong. It is instantly 295 at this level, 2481. Now guys, when we're looking at this price level and we have 3.5 minutes left on the 5 minute, 295 volume is a lot right off the bat, which means we still have 3.5 minutes to add more volume to this level. So if we could get above the 7481 and we add volume to this level, we add volume to the next, we again should see continuation. Exactly like this, guys. Huge stuff right there. That is crazy. That is great. Wow. Okay, I'm going to get out right there. That was a huge pop. I'm all out of crude, guys. That was a great trade. Good using volume to justify and watch that momentum hit. Saw the continuation. We saw it consolidate. That was great. Really great stuff. Very good, very good. Let's see, real quick little recap. So we got in around the 74.39 that I mentioned earlier. And we wanted, obviously, new high a day. New high a day is always going to be our target when we're looking for that trend trade. But because we took out this high, pulled back, and we were looking to make a higher low and a higher high, I wanted to have it take profit further than new high of day because I knew we were in for a trend, and crude oil for the past few days has been super trendy. So I was able to then add 3 more, get out of some on the strong break, and then get out of the rest right up here 74.90. So it's a great trade, one and done type deal. It's how we have to keep our trading. Over trading just means you're putting more risk on the table. Doesn't mean you're getting more capital or more gains. Just means you're putting more risk there. But with every risk comes a reward. Every reward comes a risk. We have to remember that in the market. Great stuff, though. Feel like it needs to come back to Trend Friday. Let's see. So now we can take a look at ES and NQ. Played crude oil real well today. And look at this again, ES with a dip. Looks like it's trying to be bought up. Let's bring up Bookmap. Oh, but look at ES had a strong level of passive sellers right here. The 70, look at the 60-50. 60-52. I mentioned key psychological level 60-50 this morning because that ends in a 50-25 or 00. And we did have a passive seller. Passive sellers right in here, 60.53. So I'd look to see how we want to react if we can break this level. See if we reverse. If we reverse, that might be potential for a very tight entry short trade to target the next area of liquidity. Let's see. So if we look at the 15-minute, let's look at real quick crude oil. So crude oil, a 15-minute orb, it had a breakout today, right? I don't think it's going to come reverse and break back lower. I think it's going to but if we did, you know, it's crazy, guys. If we ended up having that double break on crude oil, what we would end up getting is we would get this 15-minute order block as our next entry long to target the next pivot high. Again, me personally, we don't have much resistance up here, which means one of two things. We could either go for a while, or we're going to create a new area of supply. Because there's a lot of uncertainty, that's a 50-50. I don't want to take any trades with that on my side.
All right, crude oil 30-minute VPOC
Beautiful.
is sitting around 74.80. So that's a magnet area, but looks like we're rejecting it.
TradingPioneers.net, check it out. That is my website. And yeah, good place for information, video library, and all that. I like to put the videos in there, keep it simple for y'all. And of course, the coaching sessions customized to your fit, and the masterclass, which will be available to Bullish Bears members once they are all done and recorded and edited. So it will be some time, but you guys do have the option for the live. Let's see. Bookmap on ES pushing higher, trying to take up this area right here. Remember, we need to see a good volume bubble take out a strong heat map level, and that's sort of how we could use Bookmap in correlation with itself. So there we go, that 60.53 rejection, like I mentioned, we could look for a short for a scalp lower. That would have given us a very quick move. I'm not taking this trade, definitely not. Too choppy, plus ES has been trying to move higher, so that would really only be a what's it called? A scalp. Time is it, guys? It's not even 10 o'clock. Oh man. And crude oil would have been our one and done for the day. 6-1 on that final TP. I think it was like 4-1 on the first. That is beautiful. Beautiful. Great trade. No random. I know, right? That's what I'm saying. ES and NQ rocking a hard place. You know, we're holding up support on NASDAQ, but we don't really have much resistance on it. But then ES, we have a daily fair value gap right here, and we have a 15-minute supply zone that we're in. So it's like, yes, right now the trend has been bullish, but the market isn't making it easy. Not at all. How are you guys feeling today? Are you guys feeling bullish or bearish this week? Let's see. We'll look at the hourly, and you guys let me know what you think and why. So here's ES on the hourly, and if it helps, we could look at it on the weekly first, just to see where the weekly is. Oh, that's a nice weekly candle right there. And we're already above previous week's high. You trade mostly Monday and Tuesday here, any other days? What's up, Brian? Yeah, Brian, I trade Monday, Tuesday here on the Edgeful YouTube, and then Wednesday in the their Discord, and then Friday Bullish Bears YouTube. And that's it. That's it on those days. This was a great crude trade, guys. Another review-worthy trade. And look, ES did reject that 60.53. Not the smoothest rejection. Oh, but then it hit that next level of liquidity, 60.45. So again, small little scalp right there using Bookmap. YouTube guys, don't forget, hit that like button. I do appreciate it, and subscribe. Go live again tomorrow here on the Edgeful platform on YouTube. And yeah, cool stuff. Don't forget, join the community, Bullish Bears community, bullishbears.com. Discord, you guys are already there. You guys are already family. Let me know, have you guys taken any trades today? Did anybody take that crude trade with me? Have you guys taken any ES or NQ trades? Or have you guys been sitting on your hands, which is also a fantastic way of trading choppy markets?
I've taken 2 NQ scalps for 16 points each, so I'm thankful for that.
There we go. There you go, E. Marcel. Good job. Great job. Let's see. If we look at the NASDAQ compared to the ES, it has been in a bit of a stronger trend. So that would have probably been the one that we would look for those longs. But again, if you look at the 1 minute, look at the 1 minute, the chop on the 1 minute. A lot of traders end up stuck on the 1 minute, and that's where a lot of the chop lies.
Yeah, my longest trade was 30 seconds, so it was a
Oh
quick
man.
one.
Oh man, you're holding pretty long. Oh man, I wonder if crude wants to go to that 75 even level. Great trades lately, guys. Want to see the 75 even because it was heavy on bookmap, and then the next level would be 75.08. I got you. So there's edgeful, right? So edgeful is the platform we use to get our edge in the market, what we're looking for. Like bias-wise, bookmap is to help us confirm that trend. And again, if you're looking for any coaching, mentoring, if somebody asks what website, tradingpioneers.net, that is my personal one-on-one website. And I do offer a Futures Beginner Masterclass. We just did the first week this past Saturday, and it was pretty phenomenal. It was really just getting into the basics, what are futures. Next week, we're going to get more in-depth in trading. We're going to go over supply and demand zones, and then the week following, we'll probably get into some pre-market preps and some morning routines. That might even be this following week, too. This week will probably be a really good one, getting in-depth into the trading. So tradingpioneers.net. Futures Masterclass, you could save 25% off with the discount code 2025. And pre-market preps as well are every day for Bullish Bears members, and Edgeful members get the pre-market preps Monday and Tuesday. Look at crude, man. Crude just running away. Beautiful. Crude is not so crude to us lately. ES and Q again chopping their way higher. 5 minute looks a lot smoother than the 1 minute, doesn't it? So we just got to be patient. The reason it was so choppy is because we were running into resistance while in a bull trend. So even though we were running into resistance, the market makers, the big buyers, they're still buying, right? So they're still executing longs, they're still entering buys, so they're trying to fulfill all of these unfilled sell orders and push us through higher. So it's going to take a little time in consolidation. Finding supply and demand zones gives us the upper hand and the edge to say, okay, today on ES, I don't want to trade ES unless we get a clean rejection off of supply. If not, we're probably going to chop, and I was able to find a better trade setup on crude oil or gold. And that's sort of why it's also important to have a small handful of different futures, if you trade futures, that you could go off of. And every morning, make your pre-market plan, make a routine. Routine is so important for consistency, and that's going to really help you get an edge in the market and gain some traction. Let's see. Originally, I liked gold for a short position in this broken 15-minute demand zone, so that would be similar to this being an order block. It was broken a little while ago though, but it was broken overnight, and a lot of times when we get that break overnight, I'd much rather see us retest it as an area of interest. AOI. Absolutely, I got you, Brian, no problem. Discord, let's see. Large options being traded on Coin, Nvidia, Amazon, Nvidia again, and Coin again. So there's pretty bullish price action going on with those. A lot of times that will have a bit of an impact on the NASDAQ. So again, NASDAQ was a bit stronger earlier. Now ES is making new high of day. If we take a look at our VIX, VIX should also be making new low of day. So VIX is very close to new low of day. VIX is also at a key level, guys. So when we have all of these things lining up with key levels, that's when we sort of start to see a lot of consolidation and trades not play out so well. All right. Don't forget YouTube, hit that like button. Do appreciate it. Looks like we're ready for a breakout here. There we go, ES, a little bit of a move. Let's get our book map up and running and get ES on there. We have 60.57 as a next key level on ES. 60.60 as well, another key psychological level. And now we do have a new price level down here at 60.40 on ES. So again, really being patient here. Would only look for longs for this breakout. And then potentially, hopefully, if we could get a move higher, what I would look for at this point is I'd look to see, we have the breakout, the consolidation, the breakout, and then I would want to see a retest of the consolidation for a long entry. And that would be how we would trade that, right? So we would use this 5-minute order block, look for a long entry, and we would target new high of day. But that would require us to continue higher on this 5-minute and maybe even the next 5-minute too. So that would mean we have to be patient, because if this 5-minute wants to reject lower, then we don't get that setup. And that's what we have to look for. When we look for setups and we create our plans and everything, it's really important to have something where we could look for a setup that happens that if this, then this, right? If this happens, then this will be my entry, versus just trying to predict which direction we're about to go in. Like crude oil, again, this is just a fantastic trend days on crude oil for the past, I think, 5 days now, 6 days now. Let's see. So I wouldn't count the trend until we got a good close above it, which would be this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is day number 5, which again, if we're counting green days, day number 6 of crude oil pushing higher. If we were to look at our edgeful stats, guys, on the toolbox on crude oil, we will look at the, let's see, we'll look at the daily, and we're going to look at the green and red streaks. And the longest green streak we had was 5 days, which means today, guys, 6 days in a row, that's our longest green streak. Oh, Happy Madison and the Edgeful community killing it. 14K on that. It's fire. Let's see. So again, crude oil making a amazing run. Let's check now the past year. 1 year. There has to be a longer streak. 7 days. Okay, so that's interesting. So again, if we're looking for momentum, guys, crude oil is our way to go. This thing has been running higher. It's been trending higher. This is beautiful. It's what we want to do. Trend is our friend. Even gold sort of been chopping around. It looks like it wants to break higher, then it fails lower. It looks like it wants to fail lower, then it reverses back higher. Even this pump right here, we took out new high, we reversed, took out new low. So very range bound on gold. Crude oil, very smooth trend. ES and NQ, we get a look at those as well. And again, sort of same situation. You know, last week, this is Friday, this is Monday, Tuesday, there was no Wednesday trading, so it was Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. It was very choppy price action, and again, we had New Year's Day and New Year's Eve in the middle of the week last week, therefore, not going to get the best volume to follow through. I'm going to see you at the webinar this afternoon, probably the only one we'll do for Jen. Frozen, I don't know, are you in the live stream right now? Frozen Golem, let's see. I don't think he is. Alright, the webinars, the live streams, they are on Saturdays. Saturdays, 7 p.m. Eastern. Look at crude, guys. Still pushing higher. It wants at 75 even. This is ES. Let's check crude. There we go. There we go. Oh, there we go. That's nice. It's nice when a plan works out and a trade works out. What's better than that? I'll tell you what's better than that. Catching it live on YouTube with all of you kind folks. Don't forget, like, subscribe, join, share. Have your friends join. Trading should not be made super, super difficult. We should be keeping it simple enough that it's routine. Everything has to be routine. Just like when we work a regular job, everything's routine. We're given hours. That's routine. We're given a shift. We're given requirements to follow. We're giving a different list to follow, to-do list sort of deal. With trading, it's sort of free range until you tell yourself, no, I need to take it seriously. I need to give myself a routine and structure. And once you find that routine and structure, that's when you'll feel a bit more success in your trading, and you'll feel a stronger line of consistency. And you'll be able to find where you can profit and grow and what's not working for you. And if you don't have, guys, so the footprint chart on TradingView, you do need the premium on TradingView version. I would always say, guys, get started with one or the other now, because now that TradingView offers this, that's huge. You might be able to get away with maybe not getting Bookmap. Now, Bookmap is super helpful as well, but, they both now show volume. Right now, you could use the footprint chart to show you volume on TradingView. You could look at the total volume, the delta, the buy and sell, and it's super helpful because it will help you see if the strong volume is following the trend, which if we're pushing higher, we should have good volume pushing higher with it, or if the trend seems to be fading out, and that's when we have lower volume at the lows or at the highs. You see at these lows down here, we only had 23, 108, even 270 is low if we're looking for a trend lower, because look at here, 528, 360. This is stronger for a trend lower. Volume started to die down. We reversed and volume picked back up on the trend higher. 325, back up to about 240, 330, 480, and then we had 1.500, right? So that's a lot of volume coming in at that 9 o'clock, about 1,500. And again, that's bullish trend right there. So this was buying volume because we ended up continuing higher. And then when we came back to these levels, volume started to pick back up again. Travis, Writing Cat, you guys take any trades today? How about you, Random? Victoria and yourself? You guys let me know. Any trades today? There's ES trying to continue higher. Oh, that's funny. The setup I was looking at before definitely would have worked. Got 2 shorts, that's it. Alright, alright. Were you able to scalp those? I know the market's been trying to move higher today, but struggling. Very hard for me to get away from TOS. Many years using it. Alright, listen, TOS is great. You could always get started with TradingView for free, though, as well, just so you know. So if we go to our plans, explore our plans, you could start on TradingView for free. And with the free version, you only get one chart. So you don't get a whole bunch of extra charts. You don't get the different... You do get the tools on the left-hand side, which is what's important in my opinion. But it's just a way you could get used to it. Definitely a very clean and easy platform. I also used to be a big fan of TOS. I was trading TOS for a couple of years. But what's great with TradingView is because once I switched to futures, TOS requires a very high margin. So I sort of said no thank you to that. Tradeovate requires a lot less of a margin to trade ES, MES, NQ, MNQ, CL, MCL, GC, stuff like that. Therefore, TradingView is great because you could connect Trade08 to it, right? You could also connect all of these other brokers to it as well. And TradingView also just added options, which is freaking so cool. Options chain, volatility, so cool. But yeah, TradingView, check it out. Check it out for sure. Scalp only, very good. Too far from Friday's trend. I know, where was Friday's trend? I think you mentioned that before too. Too far from Friday's trend. Friday's trend is, oh yeah, you mean how we're completely super far away from that? Yup. And that's also, guys, what sort of makes it hard to go short at this point, because we're so high up, we're so far away from that. The trend has been so bullish right now. Ba-doop, ba-doop. Ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop. Alright, let's see. Crude oil trying its best to get to that 75 even level. Even look, RTY, YM, also pretty choppy today. Mainly the YM. I personally don't trade the Dow or the Russell. My main four are ES, NQ, crude, and gold. Obviously, as you guys have noticed the past month or so, because of the poor price action on ES and NQ, as many of you know, December being very poor price action, crude oil and gold have been very, very, very well. So, just got to stick with what works, right? Once I start to see the trend reverse and I start seeing some more A+ setups on ES or NQ, that's when I'll start trading them. But I don't want to go into every single day trying to force a trade that's not there, when I could catch something that is here. This was so clean. We could get rid of that level. This was so nice on crude. Catch those live here. What feels like every day. Travis, I thought I saw you typing. You take any trades today? Oh, let me see. Let me see. How do you read Tesla on Bookmap your cost? I don't know if I have access to stocks. Let me see. Oh yeah, I am on Rhythmic. Okay, let's see. Dex. No, I don't think I have. Cause I'm pretty sure stocks are what? The NASDAQ. No, CME, right? Nope, these are all futures. NYMEX, it's crude. This one's gold. This one's Euro type stuff. CME's NASDAQ. CBOT is also sort of NASDAQ. I do not have access to stocks on here. No trades yet. Just got back from the gym, learning patience at the moment. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Gotta know what you're working on so you can work on it, right? A lot of people come into the market with the same mindset as they did yesterday, not knowing that that's going to keep them in the same position. We have to go into every day knowing what we're planning on working on so we could then further execute and be better, right? Our goal of being 1% better every day is not a BS goal. It is 100% real, and it will keep your momentum going. How about you, Owen or Jim? I know E. Marcel, you said you took 2 scalps on NQ earlier, 16 points each. Any more scalps? Is that it? No more? Awesome, dude. I love it. 2 for 2 and calling it a day. That is how we do it. Do it, do it, do it. How about you, Blackfoot, Desi, AV, or Amir? Anything? Amir, welcome to the community, by the way. Any trades today? Took 1 MCL with you. Nice, Marcus. Good job. Good job. And if you guys got anything, how do you read Tesla on Bookmap? Nothing? Okay, cool. That's all right. Amir, do you mainly trade stocks? Because you were asking about Tesla. Yeah, okay, cool. Do you trade stocks or do you trade options? Now trying futures. Okay, cool. Awesome. Stocks. Okay, yeah. You're probably going to be better off with the futures because of how much lesser cost it would be than buying stock itself. So yeah, that's good. Try out futures. Are you starting out with a prop firm? Always important to start out with maybe a prop firm or, of course, paper trading. Paper trading is the safest way to go. I got 5 Apex. Cool, man. Very cool. Start out maybe one at a time. Save the other few so you don't blow them all at once. You know, make sure you're sizing properly. If it's a 50K account and you're just getting started, don't risk any more than maybe $150 a trade. Trade those micros, MCL, MNQ, MES, MGC, and keep your account alive. Your main goal when you're getting started isn't to make profits, it's to make the process. And to make that process, your main goal with the account, short term, is to not blow it. I got MNQH up in Apex. Very cool, man. Very cool. Yeah, we could go over some NASDAQ for sure. Let's see. So NASDAQ has a pretty strong level to the downside around 21,750. So that's pretty interesting, you know. Might come back down there. We do have a fair value gap right there too. So there's a imbalance, which means the market hasn't filled the orders in that spot. And if we check our footprint chart, let's see. I gotta change that up. Guys, if you're using the footprint chart and you can't see the numbers because the levels are too squished like that, you could either widen it like this, or you could go into the settings. And oh, it is on auto. Gross. I was going to say you could go to manual and change what it's at, but we'll keep it on auto for now. Row size, we'll just go to total, and we will see if we have any imbalances over here. I don't see any imbalances off of just looking at the chart. But again, it's the good volume that we're really looking at, right? The buyers were taking us higher. The lighter volume is when we don't have strong volume, right? See how it's lighter blue here? That's what's pretty cool with it as well. So let's see. This morning, when I covered NASDAQ this morning, it was sort of the same situation as ES, where we were in an uptrend. I was looking to see if we could sweep this pre-market low, and we ended up sweeping that pre-market low around 9:15 to 9:30. So we didn't get that during the day. We didn't even sweep that level either. We actually double bottomed at it. And when we double bottomed at it on the NQ, ES failed to double bottom. So ES created a higher low, while NQ created an equal low. Now usually we'll look for divergence, and with divergence we would look for NQ to make a lower low and ES to make a higher low. And then we would take ES long positions because it had the bullish divergence. If you're trading, just so you know, if you are trading NQ, make sure you keep an eye on the ES as well. They do trend pretty well together, and it could give you the advantage of, again, looking for divergence and looking for trend and continuation. This setup would have worked. That's pretty funny. Got some good buying pressure coming in here. I would say, just so you know, Amir, Bookmap on NASDAQ isn't as clean to use as it would be on something like ES, crude oil, or gold. And the reason for that is because of the super high ADR. Now, NASDAQ being at 21,870, it has a pretty wide spread of sometimes a point, 2 points, 3 points, if we're moving fast, 4 points. So because of that spread, it's very difficult to find those very tight stop losses on the NASDAQ. So if you use the Bookmap on ES, crude oil, look at ES right here at a very strong level, 60.60. And right over here, we rejected at 60.59.50. So we would have maybe saw that rejection, been able to grab some shorts with a stop loss at that 60.60 in anticipation that that holds as a wall. You can't really do that on the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ's not really going to give you heavy levels like that. It will occasionally, and that's great, but I personally haven't seen it as consistently. Looks like it turned around 21,900. Yeah, I know. I would look for 21,900 too. Always want to be aware of those key psychological levels, especially when we're not near any other supplier demand zones. So let's take a look at NASDAQ here, right? So NASDAQ, we don't really have any next pivot until the one right here at 21,955. So that would be key psych level 21,900, and then it'd be 21,955 with that pivot. So the question is, do we break this pivot and continue this uptrend and look for buyers for the rest of the week, or do we fail it? And that's what we'll have to look for to give us a clue to where the market's going for the rest of the week on the NASDAQ.
I'm done for the day. I'm green. I'm getting there, Kev. I am getting there.
Good job, Victoria. I know you'll get
Nice.
there.
I need to refine my strategy, and I've still got a bit of psychology to work on, but I think this year I'm going to start trying to at least trade with small amounts of real money.
Okay, good. You'll get there. One step at a time. Make sure you have good risk management. Are you still on a prop firm right now?
No, I'm not on a prop firm at all. I'm still doing paper, but
Okay.
I've got my edge down finally after, over nearly 3 years, 2.5 years. But I finally think I've got something sussed. I've got my risk management sussed. I've got most of my psychology sorted. I just need to be able to do this in fewer trades. So I'm not taking like 5 or 6 trades a day. I'm taking like 2 or 3 trades instead. It's a scalping strategy, but still. And that way I can minimize my risk. And then I'm gonna start looking at things. But yeah, anyway, I'm good for the day.
Awesome, Victoria. I'm happy to hear that. Congratulations. Great job, and keep up the good work.
I might sign up to your thing, Kev. I'm just going to work out what I'm doing first.
Yeah, whatever you guys want. No problem. Yes, tradingpioneers.net. That is for the Futures Beginner Masterclass. I know it says beginner, but it is a bit more geared towards people trying to find their strategy, trying to refine their system. It's an 8-week program. Supply, demand. We just did the first week this past Saturday. That was more of a beginner program, going over different brokers, going over Apex Trader funding, prop firms, TradingView, different platforms. Next week we're going to be going over finding zones and levels, finding liquidity levels, and we'll start with some pre-market prep too next week too, so it's going to be a really good week.
I think the biggest problem was working out my own psychology, and once I've got, and that's not something somebody else can help with, but with the strategy and refining the strategy, that's something you can help with. But I've been fighting against myself for the last 2 years.
Yeah, that's okay. Listen, psychology, I cover trading psychology in one of the weeks. It's I think like week 5 or 6. I have a whole outline for all of them. But psychology is a huge one, right? And even though I can't get into your head to make you think differently, what I could do is I could give you tips and advice and questions you could ask yourself that might make you think differently, right? That might make you question what you're doing a bit differently.
That's what I've done over the last year. I've worked on my impulse control, emotional management, and it's helped me in other areas of my life as well. So trading it's changed me, man. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I'll catch up with you soon, Kevin. I'm off for the day.
Sounds good, Victoria. You be well and have a great day. Alright. It's actually normal to take 3 years to get your stride. Yep, that's right. That is absolutely right. A lot of people 2, 3 years. Some people 5 years, guys, takes to become a consistent trader. Can you go over how to read Bookmap a little? Yeah, for sure. So here we have our heat map. So the levels we have in the background, this is all the blue levels, the dark red levels. This is the current order book. So we see the COB. This is the current order book. The blue and the red is the same information we see here. So where we see 127 lots at 21,884, that's this heavy level on Bookmap. So we would look to see how price reacts to these levels up here, and if we start to hit them and reverse, we could look for a short position. Just like this level down here, we came down to these levels of support, and we were able to hold those. Now, same thing with every strategy, we're better off following the trend. So even though we're at some levels of resistance up here, taking a short wouldn't really be in our favor because we're at a new high of day. Longs, however, down here, this would have been more in our favor because we would have been able to enter some long positions around, let's say, 852, 855, and had our stop loss below that level we were holding around 48, which would have only been about like a 10-point stop loss, which I know I mentioned earlier is a little difficult to get on NASDAQ, but not impossible. It does take a little time with TradingView and Bookmap to get used to follow it, to watch it. They have a great back testing service as well. It looks like I got our gold alert, so we're gonna see how gold wants to react in this level too. Okay, so here's that level being taken out on NASDAQ, so we'd look for a reaction. If we started to reverse, we could look for a short with a stop loss back at that high, but because, again, we've been pretty strong, we're not going to look for that trade right now. That's just a trade setup we could look for if we were going in the correct direction. Now, gold, I wouldn't take short on gold. Just because we're in our zone on gold doesn't mean this is an A+ setup anymore, because by the time we got here, we made a new low of day. We took out this recent high right here. We might be reversing. So until I get a red candle or a close back below this zone, I would not take any trades on gold here. We had a great trade on crude today, a one and done type deal, and that's how we got a trade. Amir, just so you know, I do have a whole bunch of videos on Bookmap. I can pull that up. Let's see. I did have a bunch of videos on Bookmap. No, I still do. Here we go. I'm going to send that on over to you. Alright, Amir, I sent that in the main chat for you. Bookmap, it's a I want to call it a playlist. It's not really a playlist. It's a, is that what they call it on YouTube? I don't know. Yeah, they call it a playlist. Whole lot of videos, though. I cover different tools, how to use Bookmap platform for beginners. I got a few shorts in there as well. How to read order flow on Bookmap. Bookmap sweeps indicator, Bookmap market pulse indicator. That's a great one. I used to love the market pulse indicator, like love it, especially when trading the NASDAQ. Great for scalping NASDAQ. Large trade alerts on Bookmap, drawing tools on Bookmap, what is Bookmap basics, and a few more shorts, some trade reviews, time slices, icebergs, whole lot of videos. I forgot how many I made. It's a lot. And I'll keep them coming. Icebergs indicator is a great one. Some trade reviews in there. Fair value gaps with Bookmap. Whole lot of stuff. Whole lot of videos. Look at that. We did reject. See this big buy bubble? Look, I started talking about other stuff. This big buyer taking out this big sell wall right here. We failed it. What we should see if we wanted to see continuation is good buying bubbles coming and continuation. When we get a big buy bubble at a strong absorption level and we fail, that might be setting us up for a short, which it did. Again, we missed it. It is what it is. We're not going to catch them all. But just giving you examples of things to keep an eye on. Look how close crude was to 75 even. Crude was one tick away. It hit 74.99. YouTube guys, don't forget, hit that like button. I do appreciate it. Like, subscribe, Discord. Appreciate you all as well. If you guys got any questions, holler. It is 10:30 right now. Markets are chopping away. ES and NQ both range bound at the moment. Let's check ES. ES has some support underneath it to take out a pretty strong level up here as well. And if we look at the volume, let's see the volume, guys. Remember, I kept talking about volume today. We have to have follow through. Should we do total? Now let's take a look. Okay, well the volume's been pretty consistent, I would say, right? It's been pretty consistent, it's been pretty range bound. When we get to new highs, we don't really have good volume to continue, other than this 2800 right here, which we made just on that last 5 minute So I would see how we react. If we could get back above 60, 59, 75, I'd see if we could get strong volume again to continue higher. Now while we wait, while the market chops, it's the best time to look at different time frames. What's the ES doing on the 15 minute, the 30 minute, the 45? Like, is anything setting up? Okay, well, we have a demand zone right here if these candles continue. So that's good. That's bullish. That's what we saw this morning. NASDAQ, I'm not a big fan of this as a 15-minute demand zone because it's got a weird looking body, very small, too long of a lower wick. Same with the 30. But I would say looking at the 30-minute time frame, who would be bearish at this point? If we get rid of all our drawings and we look at the past two 30-minute time candles, bullish, bullish. Just because we're pulling back doesn't mean we're reversing now. We'd be looking to buy some dips. We'd also want to look at the hourly. The hourly closes in 24 minutes. Now right now we're above that previous candle's high. So we could sort of mark that out and see how we want to react, right? Could we maybe buy somewhere below that for a long position to get back above? Or do we want to close back below that on the hourly and set up for a potential reversal back down north, back down south? Up and down, left and right. So here's that support on ES. We look to see if buyers want to continue here. And again, we buy dips. We don't buy the rips. We buy the dips. We sell the rips. We get crude with a very nice pullback. Definitely glad I got out where I got out. A lot of people always are never happy with where they got out. They're very, oh, I could have got more profits. I could have, would have, should have. If you're following your trade plan, you're looking for good risks to reward. And when I say good, I'm talking 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 6 to 1. This one was a 6 to 1 before. I mean, these are the setups that will keep you profitable longer. And that's the whole point of learning to trade, guys. It's the long game of it. We want to be able to consistently be able to go on the profit, even if we're in more losing positions than winning positions. So gold, we ended up getting a bit of a rejection right there. Now I wonder how the 15-minute looks. 15, a little bullish. 30-minute closes in 23 minutes though. 1 hour. Yeah, I would be definitely a bit more bearish on gold at this point. We could also look at gold on Bookmap and see how we're reacting up here. Nothing too obvious on Bookmap. Other than the selling pressure, of course. Any upper or lower levels? Not really. We do have some resistance to the upside, so again, might look for a short on gold up in this resistance level. Good morning, everybody. Hope you are all doing well. Happy Monday. It is January 6th already. It's going to be February in no time. Then it's going to be Easter. And then it's going to be summer. So get us out of this cold weather. Yo, good morning, HL. What's going on? Good morning and welcome. Hope you are doing well. Marzi, do you take any trades today? I know, yo, random, me too.
I took the crude trades, but I'm having some issues with Thinkorswim this morning. So since I couldn't quite get an idea of what was going on, I closed my positions outside since it was acting strange. So I wasn't going to leave a trade open when the platform's not working right.
Yeah, no, understandable. You know, if platform's not acting right and your trade's open and it blows through your stop loss and it wasn't activated because the platform's acting wrong, that's gonna hurt, you know. So good for you. Smart way to trade that. And you're using Tradovate as the broker?
Well, I'm actually trying to decide which way I want to go. Some days I use Tradovate, some days I use Thinkorswim, and there's things I like and dislike about both.
Yeah.
We're never going to find an absolutely perfect platform necessarily because each person's got different things they want.
Yep. Absolutely. Let's see. Random going to Florida for a month in March. Man, where we going? Where we going, Random? I'll meet you there. Gotta get out of this cold, dude. I hate it. Nice, enjoy. Orlando, sweet, bro. Have a good time. Have an extra good time for me. What a pullback on crude, guys. Let's check out crude on Bookmap. Yup, look at this big level. Again, I mentioned earlier how the strong levels, if we reject it and we don't break it, they will hold. So we can look for us to take a short position there with a tight stop loss. So again, that 75 even, a lot of people might have been anticipating it because it's a key psychological level. Once we start to reject it, we can maybe look for a short around 91 or 80 or wherever, and look for another target. Like a fair value gap. So we had a 5-minute fair value gap right here. Now 5-minute fair value gaps, guys, if we look at edgeful, tools, crude oil, let's go to New York, and fair value gaps, and do 6 months. Crude oil, blah, 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 5-minute. They get mitigated 57% of the time bullish fair value gaps. So then we would have been able to target the break of the fair value gap, right? Because we have a 57% chance, almost 58% chance of hitting that mitigation on that. So that's very, very clean in our favor. It's funny, right? You would think, oh, well, 42% unmitigated, that's going to be really against me. I shouldn't take this long. You're right. So how could we use it in our favor then? There's always ways around things, always ways to use things in our favor, especially if we're given stats or probability odds and things like that. I forgot, I do have a discount running, guys. Last thing I'll mention about it, I do have a 50% off your first coaching session. So one-on-one sessions, hour long, $100. Get 50% off on that with the discount code BENZINGA for your first session. So, I forgot that was running. I was looking at the site yesterday, and I was like, alright, Christmas is done. 2025 is still going. And then I saw Benzinga, and I was like, oh shit, how about that? How about that? Crude dropping like it's hot. Wow, that's just wild. That doesn't even look right. So now at this point, we might look for maybe a demand zone right here. Oh wait, let's put that back so I could review that at some point. But this, I'll get rid of the drawings for a moment. This basing candle, we had an impulse move and continuation, but the continuation wasn't so strong, right? If we're measuring this candle from the open to the bottom, it's only 24 cents, 0.32%, and then the move itself, 42 cents. That's a pretty even move. When I look for a supply or demand zone, I'd much rather see this, where we have our small basing, where it gives us a 22-cent move, and then the rally is about 70 cents, right? So that's almost, what, 2 to 7, 3 to 4x that move, that zone. So that's what I look for on a better zone. So this would be my demand zone that I'm looking for if we want to continue back lower into it. So crude might be giving us another trade entry. Who knows? Gold gave us a nice short off of that. Again, a high probability setup. Beautiful. Oh. Guys, what else is new? What's going on with you guys? How was your weekend? How is your trading going? What are you working on? What are you trading with? ES and NQ still sort of chopping. YouTube, make sure to hit that like button. I'll keep skipping those ads for you guys. Oh, that's cool, man. Random bringing the kids to the NASA Center. That's really dope. Let's see. ESNQ. Range bound, chop bound. You guys see how the 15-minute, hindsight is always 2020. If we're looking at the 15-minute, well, this has been a clear uptrend, blah, blah, blah. It's been moving higher. But look at the wicks. Wicks to the upside, wicks to the downside. What do wicks tell you? Wicks tell me that there was a struggle there. So when I go into a lower time frame, I'm going to see struggle. And struggle resembles more wicks, more chop. And on the 5-minute, if you were trading the 5-minute and you weren't buying dips, you were getting chopped up. You were trying to buy the rip, you were getting sold off, it would move back higher, you try to enter, it'd sell off, stop you out again, move back higher, consolidate, stop you out. It's not worth it unless you're following the higher time frame trend, even if it's just the 15-minute time frame. Or, like I'm doing, not taking any trades here at all on ES or NQ, right? My setups, my edge, is when we're having a better trend, or if we are range bound, to trade the range. But right now, ES isn't range bound. ES is still in an uptrend because it's higher than where we were on Friday. We have to recognize that all the time. We have to be aware of where we are in comparison to the previous day, because that will also tell you. Because if we were in this previous day's range, previous day highs right here, previous day lows right here, if this price action was going on in this previous day's range, then this 15-minute supply zone would have held and given us a short position. But because we're bullish, we're higher than that range, we're coming into a supply zone, we aren't coming off of a demand zone, it's just going to chop its way higher until it either A, fails and creates a new supply zone, or B, finally gives us a strong break and a new demand zone. Okay, let's see. Wow, crude dumping away. Let's see how we react in this demand zone, guys. Definitely curious to see if crude does want to hold up. Now, because it's a 15-minute demand zone, I would wait for a 5-minute close for an entry. I guess possibly a 1-minute rejection would be good too, but a 5-minute is what I'm looking for. Yo, Ironclad Random, you guys going to group up, take a bullish bears picture together in Disney and Universal? Alright, we're looking at this 15-minute demand zone down here, guys. We do have a key level at 74.25. Look at this sell-off on crude here. See if we could find some support down here. Now let's check the volume as well on the sell-off. Look at that volume, guys. So look at the volume in comparison to the buyers when we were moving higher. Some 200s, 200s, 400, 900, 700, 800, 600. And then on the sell-off, we had a lot of strong selling. Very strong. A lot of 800s, a lot of 600s, 700s. Very strong selling volume. And even up here, when we were trying to break out, we had 700 at this 74.93 2 times, 3 times if we combine the 384 and the 400 over here. So this was a lot of consolidation, a lot of passive sellers entering the market, which gave us this reaction. But what a great bull trend today. What a good uptrend on crude that we caught. Gotta remember, guys, so for crude to break previous day high and close green, we already broke previous day high. For us to close green, all that means is we have to close above where this purple level is, because this is the open of the daily candle, which again means even though we sold off like crazy, if we close somewhere, anywhere in this demand zone or above this purple level, that will still be a green close. That will still be a bull trend continuation, according to the edgeful stats as well. Yo, what up, Anthony? Good morning. Desi, what's up? Exhausted Trader. Where is... Somebody had a really clever name. Oh, Wisconsin Trader. Alright, there's a break into this demand zone. Looking at the volume here on Bookmap, look at the selling bubbles. The bubbles were pretty small on the run lower too, so we're just sort of waiting right now. I'm personally not taking any more trades today, guys. I hit my one and done quota right now with my trading, with my rules myself. I usually have maybe max 3 trades a day, right? If they're all losses, I'm done for the day at 3, 100%. If I do hit more than 6R on my first trade, which is 6 return compared to my 1 risk, day's over. I do not want to give it back. 6 reward on 1 day is great, especially when my max daily loss is potentially only 2 risk. So if I can average anywhere above 5 risk, 5 reward on my profitable days, that will keep us green longer. Look at this selling pressure, guys. Not a buyer in sight. Gold also gave us a nice trade right there. Oh, gave us a fair value gap and fair value gap entry on the 5 minute. So it rejected our broken zone. This would have been our fair value gap entry and stop loss. That would have been a pretty nuts trade. Maybe it'll come back and give us that entry again. Let's see gold. Alright, so it looks like gold. We'll see how we react when we push up again. I don't really see any heavy levels to the upside or downside, so gold is pretty range bound. The trade setup we would look for on gold is a short around 26.4680. Random, you drive to Florida? That's crazy, man. From Canada? Oh boy. Yo, pick me up on your way. I'm in New York. Yeah, you like the drive? That's awesome, dude. That is great. Bring the whole family, you said? That's awesome. How many kids you got? Gotta chat it up a little bit when the markets ain't doing anything for us. 2 kids, 6 and 11. Aw, that's great. You must have your hands full. Oh, ironclad. Alright, so gold back up in the zone. I'd look to see how we react here. I wouldn't just grab a short for the sake of grabbing a short. You could, of course, try it because the stop loss is so tight. And just got to know how much you're risking on this trade if it does want to continue higher. But I like it because we still have 2 minutes left in the 5 minute. I'd maybe look to see if we could start to reject and wait for the rejection and look to enter like over here, right? Instead of trying to go short here and having it continue higher, wait to confirm that we are getting that rejection back lower. Because right now, we are making some higher lows on gold. So I'd look to see if we get a big sell bubble to start to push us lower. Orders are starting to move. I would take that short. Stop loss sort of right over here. Again, I'm personally not taking this short trade. I'm done for today on crude oil. This would just be if you guys are taking any other trades. Good rejection there on gold, guys. ES and NQ trying to make new high a day. ES new high day, NQ new high day, and VIX new low of day. So there's that trend continuation confirmation. Weighted index pushing up. Good rejection on gold right here, guys. Now, what are you looking for on CL? Think I lost volume restarting. Well, crude oil right now, I'm not looking for anything. Crude oil, I took that great trade earlier. And right now, it has been selling off with some strength. So I would just sort of be patient on crude. I wanted longs. We wanted to see if maybe if we could get back above this 15-minute demand zone, that would be great for longs. But other than that, or even how this 5-minute wants to react and close, this might be setting up for longs. But again, right now, we're sort of falling out of my window, my trading window. And whenever that happens, we do sort of tend to lose volume. So I don't want to force any trades that aren't really there and cannot be backed. We have 2 seconds left in the 5-minute. We have our close on the 5-minute right there. That's pretty clean. If crude did push higher, again, this would sort of be the trade I'm looking for on crude, especially because it is in that demand zone. Could probably look for new high a day on crude. Let's check out crude oil. But we really need good volume bringing us higher, because look at all these sellers here. So when I like to use Bookmap, I would see this level 74.25. I would say, okay, if we get back above 74.25, that's when I'll take my long position. Because when we get back above there, any sellers below this point are then trapped and forced to reverse their position or exit their position. But without that, if we don't come back up there, then I'm at least not trying to go long down here just to get stopped out. So that's also why it's important to sort of wait for that confirmation. Give the market a plan. Tell the market, if you do this, then we'll do this. If you don't do this, then I won't do this. It is 10:55. If you guys got any questions, please let me know. We'll be wrapping it up in about 10 minutes or so. I'd like to see crude is at another key level though that I had this it was 74.11. Is that what that is? 74.11, yeah. But it's trying to break it. If we do get a strong break to the downside on crude, we might look for one of these 15-minute fair value gaps to inverse. If we don't get the breakout, though, which it looks like it at least wants that 74 even. Look at that, guys. We'd go from 75.99 all the way to 74 even. How did gold close? So again, sort of, I would probably be in this gold short here. I'm not, because my rules tell me I'm done for the day. But this would be the only setup I see. See crude dumping lower, so this setup would not be good anymore. Unless we push higher. Remember, guys, patience is such a key in the market. If we create our setup and we wait for it to hit, it'll either do one of two things. It'll either hit and we're able to be patient and catch that trade entry, or it's not going to hit, which means it's not going to trigger, and you won't take that trade. Yo, YouTube guys, don't forget, hit that like button. I do appreciate it. Had a killer day here today, so definitely show some love. Kevin, on a side note, took your futures class past Friday. It was a good class. Good, I'm glad. I'm glad, Anthony. Very good. Very happy to hear that. Thank you for the feedback. So look, crude trying to hold this level here, the 74 even. The question is, do we want to hold 74 even like we held 75 even and we want to reverse from this point? Because now we are stopping people out on this higher time frame liquidity sweep. But it's really going to depend on how we close. Some good volume coming in there. So this might be potential for a long on crude. Remember I said if we got back to 74.25. But now that we got that dip, I don't know, I would still be patient. I wouldn't be jumping the gun. So if CL1 falls to 73.63, would it be good support? 73.63. Yeah, 73.63. What time frame are you looking at? 15? 73.63. So like sort of in the middle of this zone. Yeah, that would be a good support area. Yup, I have a 2-hour demand zone right down there. So that's exactly right. A good support zone. And that 2-hour demand zone is right here. We have our 2-hour basing candle. We have our impulse move. And then we have our continuation higher. So that would solidify this 2-hour demand zone. So if we do continue lower, I mean, the daily doesn't close for 6 hours. We could sell off to it and then reverse down there, right? But right now, we're not looking for any shorts because we are at a level of support anyways. If we broke down to maybe 73.96, below that 74 even, then we could look for this demand zone as a potential short target or long entry if we get into it. I might also look for this 2-hour demand zone for tomorrow's price action. If we end up reversing here, or we stay range bound and we close somewhere between 74.50 and 74 even, I might look to see if tomorrow's price action could start us off a little lower to sweep this demand zone and look for a long entry. But it's all about our different time frame analysis and having the right buys. Trying to learn support and resistance areas better. That's good. Yeah, always remember the higher time frame is always going to be giving you the stronger zone. So if you're stuck on a 5-minute chart looking for support and resistance, you might be marking out a lot of zones and levels, and a lot of them might not end up working out. Whereas if you look at maybe the 30-minute and higher, the 15-minute, the hourly, these are very important. I would definitely say start with the hourly, and then you could always work down to like a 30-minute and see how it is on the 30 and 15. Damn, look at gold. Gold looks really good to continue. It even gave us another re-entry off of that point. And again, gold on the daily time frame broke previous day low already. It did just hit a Fibonacci retracement, the optimal trade entry, and this broken demand zone that I had with a fair value gap. So it had a lot going for it to the downside here on gold. Okay, looking for a break here on gold. We have some lower levels, 26.41. Alright, let's see. Good morning, everybody. Hope you are all doing well today. Amir, if you want, I could try to find some support and resistance videos that I have together for you. Let's see. I have this, I have this webinar that I'm going to share with you. There's this one, and then there is another video, range. Yeah, this one, this is a good one. How to trade ranges easily. This is a really good one, guys. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Not just because I made it, but because it's actually helpful. I go over using previous day high, previous day low, higher time frame, pivots, a whole bunch of stuff. 1 hour time frame, 30-minute time frame, lower time frame, break of structure, entries. I go over a lot. This is a really good video. Easy ways to spot ranges. And everything I teach, guys, it's always going to be stuff that I myself use. Always. Everything I recommend, Bookmap, Edgeful, TradingView, Apex, I've used in the past or I use now, because I will not recommend something that I don't know, I'm not comfortable with, or I don't know about. Even Edgeful, when I started with Edgeful, I told everybody, give me a week, let me sort of get used to the platform. Got used to it, and now we're killing it with Edgeful. Such a cool platform. Statistics are great. Really one of a kind. You use VWAP? Not really. Sometimes it'll pop up on my chart. I do have it. I usually have it on, so the visibility, it's only visible under 10 minutes. So if I have VWAP on the chart here on the 5-minute, when I go to the 15, it disappears because I don't really care about the VWAP on the on anything higher. But it's okay. You could use it to give yourself an idea of the gauge of the market, right? We're above VWAP, look for longs. Below VWAP, look for shorts. Testing VWAP, look for longs, whatever the case may be. But no, I'm not a big fan of using indicators. The only time I'll use an indicator is if it's like a previous day high-low plotter, so I don't have to plot it myself, or if I'm looking at volume. Volume, I don't really consider volume as an indicator. Volume's more of a tool, because that's the order flow of the market. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is 7:04. I hope you guys all had a great trading session with me today. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to drop a comment anywhere. You guys could check me out on Instagram as kevin.futures. I'll have to see if the Benzinga show is running this Wednesday. That's usually at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And, yep, keep this running for another couple minutes. And you guys have been phenomenal. What a great audience. What a great group of people. Hope to see you all back here. And don't forget, guys, I will be on edgeful's YouTube tomorrow. So if anybody wants to join that, feel free. That is their YouTube channel. Be live. Sort of doing this just on theirs. So that's pretty cool. Anything so I could trade with you homies. Alright, crude. What a rip to the downside. Crude heard drip or drown, and it said, let me drown. But I wouldn't look for shorts here. Look at these lower wicks now, trying to hold this support zone. This purple level, that's the open. That's this daily candle's open. If we remain above it and close above it, that will add to our green streak. So right now, that's the higher probabilities we're going to continue higher. Gold chopping around. Didn't take this trade. Glad I didn't take this trade. We're just waiting right now. Going to be wrapping it up. We took our one and done trade for the day on crude oil. So there's really not much more trade wise we can do. Let's see. We could look at bookmap. We can look at whatever we want to look at. So, inconsistent, right? A lot of inconsistencies. There's levels to the bottom, there's levels to the top. There aren't levels to the top, there aren't levels to the bottom. When we see that on bookmap, that's a nice clue that volume has been pretty dry. There are no large orders in the market waiting to be filled. Should probably stay out of it. Whereas if we had a strong level to the downside, let's say even 2640, then this trade, the short trade, would have had more confluence and structure behind it, and that would have given us a nice trade. Because it didn't, we're trying to find support. Got to be careful. Crude oil, I'm sorry, ES and NQ, guys. Again, taking a look at our ES and NQ, our indices. Very weak, very range bound. Not worth the price action. Did you guys hear the minimum wage was lifted in a few states? Got a notification, Yahoo Finance. Minimum wage just went up in these 21 states. Let's see. Well, let's just look it up on here. Now, what I wonder is... So what I wonder is, how is this going to affect the stock market, right? How is the market going to react to this? This was 1 day ago. These adjustments will increase the pay of 9.2 million workers by a total of $5.7 billion. That's pretty huge, guys. So I would assume the market's going to have some type of impact from that. Today would be the first day, the first quote-unquote reaction to it. And obviously, price action-wise, we are not seeing a strong reaction. I wonder if, let's see, Benzinga. We got any news going on in Benzinga lately? Anything going on? Latest news. Lyft analyst, JP Morgan. Boeing analyst turns bullish. Yeah, okay. Lucid. Okay, let's check out Lucid. Lucid's got earnings. Okay, it already had earnings. Alright, cool stuff, cool stuff. Let's check it out. LCID, Lucid. It's the electric car company.
All right, man. Well, I'm out. You have a good one. Appreciate your streaming this morning.
Absolutely, man. Good having you. Glad you were able to catch some crude. You caught that long with me?
Yeah, you know, like I said, till the platform started messing up, and then I flattened my position and got out of it. Actually, strangely enough, I flattened my position, walked and went and did something else, came back and realized that it didn't clear one of my stops, and I'd actually was too short, but the market was rolling over, so I was actually in profit.
Huh. That's great. I love it when that happens.
I'm like, what the hell is going on? I mean, that's nice, thank you, but what the hell? So, you know, I just said, forget it. I'm done.
The market felt bad about your broker having an issue.
So, anyway, we'll holler at you later. Appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.
All right, be good, man. Take care. All right, YouTube guys, Discord everybody, make sure you guys hit that like button too, hit the subscribe button. Do appreciate you all for joining. Check out the website, tradingpioneers.net. If not for some coaching services, just a great place for some educational purposes. You know, you could find different on my video library, different trading basics, smart money concepts, market depth with bookmap, everything sort of wrapped up in one place for you to make it easy access. And of course I do have resources as well. Resources would be bookmap, Apex, Edgeful, Benzinga, TradingView, things like that. Alright guys, have a great day. Happy Monday. Hope you guys had a great trading session with me. Take care and peace out.